A fist. That's the thumbnail for today. Just a fist. That's it. Oh man, I'm pretty excited about tonight. I might lose my shit. I just might lose my shit when he comes on. I don't know if I'll be able to hold it together once this guest comes on. Hey, how's it going? A wave for you. Bryce, what's up, man? Oh man, a bunch of people I know tonight. What's up, dude? I might be losing my shit tonight. Pretty stoked. Pretty stoked. But with all the shit going on in Hollywood, all the strikes, all this stuff, we have to make sure we do this the right way and not include certain studios' names or actors or movies or shows or what have you. Oh, I just saw Haunted Mansion again. Well, that's cool. A Disney man. Cool. Yeah, so I have to kind of walk on eggshells here, which I'm okay with because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to get no drama. People are doing me favors coming onto these things, and the last thing I want to do is cause any trouble, drama, etc. But yeah, I just want to get everybody in here because this might be one of the bigger guests I've ever had, and it's really cool that people keep saying yes to this stuff. I've noticed that a lot of my shit is late 80s, 90s, maybe early thousands. I think just because that's when I was a kid and a teenager. But man, they keep getting better and better. Adjust this lighting a little bit. Yeah, it's getting better and better, man. It's getting better and better. More people keep saying yes. I wonder if it's just because I get better and better, and then so if someone looks and says, why would I do this? Who's been on here? And they see some of these names, this one is going to be huge. And I wish I could just say the stuff he's in so you'd know, but as soon as you see his face, you'll know. You know him from so much stuff. You know him from a big 80s movie and a lot of TV. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut with that kind of stuff. And I'm even going to ask him, what are the rules? I don't want to break the rules. You tell me. And so to people who are already in here, you should have a little word bubble with a question mark in the bottom right. You can submit questions for me to ask this gentleman towards the end. But I will be censoring those because we're going to have a certain set of rules tonight, and I'm not going to disobey them. Not at all. Not even a little bit. So, anyway, I'm glad you guys are here early. I try to get here a little early, let people come and hang, chat, listen to me bullshit for 10 minutes. And by the time our guest gets in, you're already here and comfortable, and you got that popcorn made, and you pop that Pepsi, and your parents are there, and you have a good time. PP&P. And I'm so glad Brest is in here, man. And it's been a minute. Been a long minute. Who else we got in here? Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm not going to do any joins here just yet. Maybe at the end. I don't know. It depends. What's going on? But yeah, no vids for now. Maybe later. I don't know if you guys saw the one time I brought my buddy in. He completely sucked the life out of the video. So that's a TBD. I don't know if we're going to do that or not much anymore. I did one or two. They were okay, but sometimes just putting people on the spot, whether it's you guys or the guests, I don't know. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. But, you know what you're going to do. So no, sorry, bro. But yeah, hey, tell me, whoever's in here, tell me some of your favorite martial arts or karate movies. Well, and/or. Because that is a theme for the night. It is a very big theme for the night. And I don't know a ton. I really don't. I wasn't into like Van Damme. I wasn't into... I mean, Jackie Chan might be the only one. Jet Li. Wasn't into Jet Li. Stallone count? Schwarzenegger count? That's just action. I don't know if it's martial arts. Bloodsport. Okay, it's an exception. But it's just a good movie. Even that one, I know I've seen it, but I can't remember it. I wasn't into like I wasn't into many of those at all. Jackie Chan is an exception. Anything Rush Hour was awesome. All those Rush Hour movies were so great. But yeah, I really didn't get into them. I got into the spoofs. What didn't they spoof a bunch of them with? Was it Hot Shots made fun of a couple of those? I think with Charlie Sheen. I think so. Oh man, 5 minute countdown. I'm getting excited. My legs won't stop moving. Yeah, Bloodsport was wasn't that Van Damme? And I think that's been referenced in like isn't a bunch of movies. I think in Anchorman 2, didn't he? Wasn't he called something that just shot to Van Damme screaming from Bloodsport? I think that's what it was. I'm almost positive. Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, I'm still gonna keep. Even the names we're saying, I should probably just shut up. Just keep my mouth shut. I don't know what the rules are. I'm gonna fuck it up. But you're allowed to swear in these things. That's one thing I like. Because I don't give a shit. If you don't like it, turn it off. If you don't like the guest, go to hell. If you don't want to stare at me and my pretty hat, turn it off. Yeah, what's up? So, I mean, yeah. Come in, hang, chat. I listen to whatever Joe Rogan says. If Joe Rogan says, I have people on because I want to talk to them, I don't care what anybody else is into, that's what I'm going to do. It's a good idea. If you don't like it, change it. Hold on a second. Here we go. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I was wearing a backwards trucker hat because I do every day. So I wanted to be real, but as soon as the weather changes, this is the only hat I wear. It's the only hat I wear. Man, one of these fedoras, big fat fedoras with a jean jacket. Oh man, in the fall, I can't wait. I can't wait. And this doubles as a snot rag. As someone with allergies who constantly has a loogie in the back of their throat. Anyway, yeah, I see some more people joining now. Good. I'm just hoping everything works on our guests' end. I didn't know until a few weeks ago that you can't be on Instagram Live on your phone and then join someone on their laptop, which is a pain in the ass. Good thing we found that out lickety splickety, and that was our guy from Back to the Future. That was the second George McFly. Dude, allergies are the worst. I used to have them really, really bad to where I was just permanently on Benadryl all the time. And then I was just a zombie. So I think they got better and better. Found a couple meds I like. Now we're good. I'm just staring at this list of people waiting for this dude to get in here. I have a feeling he's going to be very punctual. Seems very professional, on top of his shit. And I'm pretty excited. And he's local. He's a local boy, which I didn't know until tonight. You keep sending these requests, you better knock it off. But yeah, pretty jazzed. For those of you just joining us. Oh, we're not waiting. He's in. Let's go. Usually works pretty quickly. Let's see.
Yeah. Nope.
Oop.
Gotta go that way.
Yes, dude.
Hey,
I
Ben, how are you?
may have held it together in the emails, but I am pretty jazzed,
Oh,
man.
well,
Pretty stoked. Let me
thank
fix
you.
this. Get some.
All
Let's get
good?
all this crap out of the way. Yeah,
All right.
I'll just slouch down a little bit. What's up, man?
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Just, I'm
big question
recovering.
right now. Yeah.
Well, I'm just recovering from a pretty exhausting trip to the East Coast. I got in around 3:30 in the morning the other night and was back on set like around 9:30 and just have been going since. So I'm on afterburners right now.
Okay.
But
I mean, the
but
first
I'm
couple of
happy.
things I have on
But
here
I'm
is
happy
to
to be here with you. I'm happy to be
awesome.
here.
I appreciate it,
Yeah.
man. It's huge. It's huge. Before we do anything, I just want to make sure to get any rules. I don't want to be messing up with all everything you guys are going through. I don't want to be saying the
Well,
wrong
you know,
stuff. So I'm just keeping like movies, names, shows just out of my
we
mouth for now.
just really can't talk about anything that has to do with any of the entities that SAG is involved with the strike.
Sure. Yep. Yeah.
Actually, they just sent around. Um, they clarified the parameters of what we can talk about. I think a lot of people, a lot of actors didn't initially realize, um, you know, just how far-reaching our obligation as SAG members was to participate in the strike. I mean, it goes a lot deeper than just not working for companies we're striking against. You know, it involves any kind of promotion or anything like that. So, I want to adhere to that.
And so do I. That's why I wanted to make sure right away. And it's funny because I'm such a movie and TV like fanboy. This whole thing is just
Oh,
about
me too.
movies. So I'm like, all right, I don't want to. Okay, let's cross that out. But the cool thing is, I don't want to say forced me, but it kind of redirected me into, yeah, I know these roles. Now I get to just talk to you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a silver lining. Just like, well, do you want to tell everyone who you are? I know it's
I'm
kind of
going to
hard
tell
not to know, but
hey guys, it's Sean Kanan. I'm an actor, I'm a producer, I'm an author. Been doing it for probably 35 years plus. I'm a motivational speaker and a coach, and husband and a dog lover. How's that?
nice. Ditto. Our Great Dane is laying right outside the door here.
Wow. Is it one of the ones that's black and white, like a Dalmatian?
No, we got really lucky. It was blue, which is a great coat, but it was the first of her litter, so we had first dibs, I should say, and she has no white, so she's 100% blue.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I love dogs. So I have a
And the guy was like, "You should definitely be showing her." I'm like, "Absolutely not. No, this little girl's gonna lay on our bed and sleep on our heads, even though she's 130 pounds, and go on vacation with us." Yeah, so it's just it's another part of the family. But I did learn you're local to me. You're Newcastle, is that right?
That's where I grew up. Where are you from?
I'm in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I'm actually in the North Hills, so I'm like an hour away.
wow. A Yinzer.
Oh, I'm a hard yinzer, and when I get real drunk, all the language comes out, and people are
It
like, "You
comes
going
out.
down there?" Yeah, yeah. The more beers, the worse yinzer comes out. And I don't think I have it that bad. Then I go see family in Nashville, and I meet their friends. And they're like, Pittsburgh. I'm like, how
Right.
did you even know that? I don't think I'm even that bad.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it does have a distinct accent, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. And it's once it's
It's
I don't like I said I don't hear it on me. I don't hear it around until you have like this hardcore Pittsburghers. You're like, oh, that is what we sound like to everyone else. It is. And Yins and Heinz ketchup and Permanis, and that's all people talk about.
it's funny.
And a lot of people who don't know their geography go, "Oh, you're right, but then you're right, like by Philly." I'm like,
No,
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 no, that's a lot of
completely.
PA. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
We always
I grew up there. It's my hometown.
too awesome. Yeah, and I just started going up to Pima Tuning every.
Oh my
We
God,
bought a camp.
I used to love going there because when I was a kid, my grandparents had this thing called an FMC, which was like the top of the line, biggest, baddest RV there was.
Cool.
It had orange shag carpet, but it was actually really nice, believe it or not. So we would roll into Pima Tuning, and there were always 9,000 kids there, and that's like where I had like my earliest experiences chasing girls when I was like 11 years old, But I mean, fishing, everything. And there was a place with like, kind of like a water park, I remember, that was sort of not there, but nearby there.
Yeah.
So
My wife knows it because she used to go up there as a kid, and I never did. But I know what you're talking about. I
I
just can't
have
remember
just
the name of it.
such great memories of that place. It was so much fun.
Someone just had a comment that the audio might be goofing up. Can everybody hear us out there? Please comment. Someone said speak louder. One person said
Speak
they
louder.
couldn't hear. Let's let a
Mine's all the
couple
way.
more comments come through real quick.
Yeah, mine's all the way out.
All
You
right,
were
we'll
talking.
just.
You were talking about what a fan you are for movies. So this past weekend, I had the distinct honor and privilege to meet Michael Biehn, and it was great, and he was awesome. And he goes in his phone and he finds the original script from Tombstone, and he tells me, he goes, "Yeah, here's a scene that never even got filmed, but was in the original script after Curly Bill died, and Ringo was supposed to take over the Cowboys." And he starts doing the scene for me as Ringo. It was so amazing because I'm just a huge Tombstone fan.
In that moment, do you just completely fan
I,
out? Like you just go like, "Oh, I love this movie so." Oh.
I held it together pretty well, but I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of I'm talking, you know, uh, I'm talking to Johnny Ringo, and I mean, The Rock and Terminator, and I mean, just the litany of giant blockbuster blockbuster films that he's done just sort of rifle through my head. But it's really cool meeting him.
It's probably like the vibe I'm having right now then. Cool. Got it. Okay. Sweet. So without saying too much of that one area, but man, you scared the shit out of me in my childhood. We'll put it like
Wow.
that. Like seeing you
Yeah.
on screen, I was just really intimidated because
Yeah, that guy would have
I was
scared me.
closer to a LaRusso. You know what I mean? I was like kind of picked on. I was even like
Yeah.
Italian looking. Like it was exactly like mirrored. And I'm like, this dude scares the shit out of me. And your sensei, like both you were just I'm like, oh my God, I can't even. I was completely afraid of that VHS
You
for
know what's
sure.
so funny is all the bad guys are really nice guys. Uh, uh, Yuji Okamoto and Martin Kove and Billy Zabka, like, just really really nice guys. So
I had some things to show, which I won't, but I got to meet a bunch of them, and they were. You're exactly right. Everybody was so cool, and
and
I
Rob, and Thomas, yeah. So uh, it really was great having the chance to work with them and you know deepen that relationship through the show and everything. So, but they are all really really nice guys. Nothing like what they play on screen.
yeah, I met Cove, and I was telling my wife as we're walking up, we were bring the kids, to the cons and stuff, and I'm like afraid, like I have like a chill because I'm like he looks the same. He still to me looks exactly the same. Like not a year's passed, and sure enough, comes around and starts like says hi to me. He's like hi, but Lee goes right into my like I think he was 2 at the time in the stroller, like fake fighting, and I'm like. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on right now. He's really, really nice and taking pictures and great time, super great guy. But yeah, the handful of you guys, I'm just like, and I got to meet Billy a couple of different times through different ventures, we'll say. And yeah, what a great guy, super nice. We ended up having Starbucks. I was like,
Oh
oh,
really?
okay, yeah, because I did something for Shannon Elizabeth professionally, and they were all there together, and I was just kind of hung out for a minute and talked. I'm like, this is really okay. I have to get used to this feeling that it is just a movie, but it's that what 10, 11, 12, 13ish somewhere in there, and yeah, so I can't unsee it, but I'm learning how great you guys really are in person.
It's very. Thank you very much. It's very nice.
So how did you get started? Did I see it had to do with martial arts
How did I get started
in
in act?
film? Yeah,
I was modeling in high school, and I wound up getting a TV commercial, which got me into the Screen Actors Guild when I was 15. I've been a member of the Screen Actors Guild since I was 15. I
man.
think 42 years, 41 years. Amazing. And that was, I didn't really know what the Screen Actors Guild was at the time, but by the time I came to Los Angeles to start my career, it was an enormous leg up to be in the Screen Actors Guild as a new actor, because so much of an actor's initial efforts go into trying to get into the Screen Actors Guild. And it's, at least it was a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It was a bit of a catch-22, because you couldn't get into the Screen Actors Guild unless you were hired to do a Screen Actors Guild
Uh,
job. And in order for that to happen, somebody had to want you so much that they'd be willing to do what's called Taft-Hartley, which means they have to pay a big fee to make you eligible for the union. So if you've got 2 guys that they basically like equally, and one's in the Screen Actors Guild and one's not, they're going to always go with the Screen Actors Guild guy. So they have to really, really like you to pull you into it. Anyway, I got very fortunate and got into the Screen Actors Guild early. I was going to school in Boston University after I graduated high school, and was working on my political science degree, but I started taking some acting classes, and I decided, this is what I want to do. I want to pursue this 100%. And I realized I could either go to New York or I could go to Los Angeles. And I figured it was better to go where I could starve, or at least it was warm. And so I went to Los Angeles. I transferred to UCLA. Eventually finished my degree in political science as I was also embarking on my acting career. And like with most things, I knocked on a lot of doors and had a lot of doors slammed in my face, and eventually got my foot in there, and eventually got a hand in there and was able to push the door open.
Nice. Yeah, I can't imagine. I thought I wanted to be an actor when I was younger and went to Point or tried getting into Point Park, and
Mm.
I must have not been into it enough because it was like one look. They're like, next. They didn't say it, but it was not meant to
Yeah,
be.
you got to
Um,
really want to do it
yeah.
because it's extremely competitive. It's very difficult. I mean, it's a pursuit that is just full of rejection, and they don't teach you how to deal with that in the beginning. So you have to learn. It's a skill set you have to acquire of toughening your skin because and you have to really really want it to do that. Otherwise, I think you're not meant to do it, and go find something that you are meant to do. Right.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's background. I keep getting typecast as inmates and gang members,
Right.
and I'm like, this is perfect. I get to
Hey,
see how it
there's a limit
works.
there. There's
I get to see, yeah,
there's guys. All they do is they look like motorcycle gang dudes, and they just go from one project to the next. So no.
because I loved it. Being a cinephile, a big fan of all this stuff. Just being there and meeting, hanging out with, or not hanging out with, but being there while the directors are coming through, people like for us out here, being background because of how you look was actually like cool enough. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do lines. You didn't have to
Sure.
do the stand or fake eat or fake clap or
Right.
just wear a striped shirt in a bar. Like that's all it was. But I'm
Pittsburgh,
like,
Pittsburgh has a really vibrant film scene. I mean, there's so many movies that have been made in Pittsburgh because it's a great looking city. I mean, there's all sorts of fantastic. You got the industrial stuff, and you got the water, and I mean, with the Mount Washington and everything. So, yeah,
you get,
a lot of stuff.
I love they keep playing old and new too. You can find buildings from the early 1900s. You can find new construction, all the old prisons that have been retired. There's a couple movies and shows that just keep going back to these prisons because there's electricity. That's all I need. Electricity and plumbing. So you see, like it was really cool on, like I said, on my end, seeing a sign on the wall that won't be in the shop, but it's from 2 shows ago. Two completely different shows ago, but they didn't have to remove it. And I'm just going up there going, "This is what I think it is, right?" And we're all going over like, "Oh, cool! Oh yeah, that wasn't it once." And we get to like
Yeah.
completely fan out and then shut up and be on set and sit there in a prison cell.
Right. Right. Well, um, I wish that when I was younger, I could have tapped into the whole scene in Pittsburgh. I left when I was probably about, I guess, 18 years old. Um, but I suppose if I had stayed and tried to pursue acting in Pennsylvania, I, there was work to be had there. So, you know, maybe someday I'll get a chance to come back to Pittsburgh and do a film. That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I saw you're on the convention circuit at least a good bit.
Yeah, like
Please come if you ever see it here, man. Please come back. We had a lot of uh, your
yeah,
coworkers came through a lot, and some of the cons are exploding. Like Steel City Con, if you ever see that one pop up, it's huge now.
yeah. I would love to do that. I'm very fortunate that the Bold and the Beautiful operates under a different collective bargaining contract than the Screen Actors Guild. We're in AFTRA, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. So huge blessing. We get to keep working. So my ability to do a lot of cons is dictated by my filming schedule with Bold and Beautiful. And I'll tell you, I'm so grateful because so many people are not able to earn a living right now. And I empathize with them deeply. And there's not a day goes by during this strike when I walk into the studio and I see people picking outside that I am not, you know, painfully aware of what they must be going through. So I'm very thankful.
And out here, we just get social media or we get weird biased news. Like we probably couldn't understand all the things you guys are going through, but someone posted was it a residuals check or all of her appearances, and then it was just mind blowing how low it was, sadly. And the other one was someone else put out a video stating that the average actor makes like $25,000 a year when it's all said and
Yeah,
done.
that's about right. I think there's a statistic. I may be mistaken, but I think it's like at any given time, only about 8% of the Screen Actors Guild members are working. The major rank and file majority of the Screen Actors Guild are people that are grinding it out, working another job, occasionally doing a commercial here and there, getting some work a couple days on a show. And, it's very, very difficult to make a living as your primary source of income as an actor.
Yeah, that number was mind blowing. And I lived in California for a minute, and I know
And it's quite
that's
expensive to live here, right?
yeah, at least. I mean, they were looking at houses, or someone was looking at houses that I was working with out there, and being from PA, about what these things probably cost, and the numbers were just through the roof. And this guy's making the same amount of me. I'm seeing like Pittsburgh money, PA money on that check. He's seeing California money. It must have been, yeah, those numbers were honestly like very shocking. I just wanted to see if it was actually accurate, really.
Gas, food, everything out here is more expensive. It just is.
Yeah. So yeah, we could, and also if you, at any point or towards the end or at any point, if there's anything you want to talk about regarding that stuff, please feel free. You know what I mean? That's a huge deal, and you're right in the thick of it too. So I wanted to open it up. I don't have a million followers or anything, but just another platform if you wanted to speak the truth about it.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions about the strike to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I'm definitely not the most well versed about the intricacies of the strike. I have a pretty good working understanding of it. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone has. If you want to take questions, however you want to do it, it's your show.
Hey, I'm just making sure. I'm just playing by the rules. Yeah, so I did tell people in the beginning, and I'll say it again too, guys. On the bottom right of if you have a phone, there should be a little word bubble with a question mark. You can submit a question, and this makes it so they don't just pop up, and these are obscene questions or fucked up questions or just rude. It happens. But I see some people are dropping them in there. I will definitely go through those at the end of this for sure. That's the best part. You get to say your name and ask a question, and Sean gets to answer it. So I will get to that, but I just want to let everybody know to submit them too, because I can't see for as fast as this feed is going. I don't want to miss them.
Yeah, they go by pretty quickly.
Yeah. And also, I think you got the record for most people watching one of my live shows, by the way.
Yes. Victory.
I mean, I think we're double. And this number is always a little low. Yeah, it's usually like 20 people hang out. I mean, 10 of them are people I know. But we're hitting 40, and that's usually pretty low.
Let me plug some stuff I can plug. If anyone's in the California, the Los Angeles, this Saturday night, I'm going to be performing at the Comedy Chateau. There's tickets still available. You go to thecomedychateau.com. It's going to be a great night. We're going to have a fair amount of the actors, I believe, from Bold and Beautiful are going to come, and who haven't seen me do my stand-up. So I'm looking forward to that. And what else? This Saturday is also Dragon Con, which is a big martial arts convention. So, trying to stay busy and continue to do stuff. And hopefully the strike is going to resolve itself sooner rather than later. But I do feel like it is going to be protracted, and it's going to continue for a while.
Yeah. On a lighter note, I saw you had a cookbook.
The first book I wrote was a cookbook. Yeah, it was The Modern Gentleman, Cooking and Entertaining with Sean Kanan. Yeah, I love to cook.
I love to cook.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I see what they were talking about with this audio. It's just like a second off. That's probably what they were saying.
Okay.
But I found.
Oh, my buddy, Mike Kastner there. Oh, wow. Hey, Michael, how are you, buddy? That's one of the things I love about doing these. You never know who's going to pop up, and you get a chance to say hi to old friends. Michael's a dear old friend who used to live in Los Angeles. He's a journalist and a radio personality. Yeah, very cool.
That happens a lot. It's really cool to see. One of the coolest was someone moved out of country, and this person had no idea they were being followed by a couple of their old friends from it was like South America or some not down the road, and right in the middle, he's like screaming, yelling, oh, you gotta call me, ah! I'm like, this is great, bring people together. I'm like, you guys just go ahead, I'll just hang out, like, feel free, talk, catch up.
I just saw that the publisher for Serenity Wellness magazine joined, and I'm going to be on the cover of the magazine in January, I believe. So it's just great to see everybody showing up for this IG Live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And also, if you're going to be here watching, you should at least just give me a follow. I mean, that's fair.
Oh,
Sean's here. Everybody
yep.
should just be given a follow at least.
Follow both of us. Yeah,
Both,
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sean, you got enough. You got enough. Like uh, about the cookbook too. I was laughing because during COVID, everybody kind of found like their little niche, maybe something they
Yeah.
never really tried or did,
Yeah.
and mine was baking. And I tell people when I get funny looks, and I'm like, yeah, baking cakes. They're like, baking cakes. I'm like, yeah, I found I wanted to cook more since we were at home and I have a family, and then we wanted dessert one time,
Right.
didn't want to go out, couldn't go out. And I said, no, I swear I have my grandmother's pineapple upside down cake recipe
I
somewhere.
love pine.
And I think
Yeah.
through and
Um,
I think through texting family, and I got the recipe and made one. I was absolutely hooked.
I think a lot of people found things like that during the quarantine as a coping mechanism, whether they realized it or not. They kind of fell into doing something like that as a way of just, decompressing. And I completely agree. For me, cooking is a great de-stressor. I love doing it. Um, and baking too. Baking, I don't bake a lot because baking is, more mathematically based and precise. I like the kind of improvisational quality of cooking. I can cook the same thing many times and it never turns out exactly the same, and that's fine. But I love to cook. Yeah, that was my first book, so that has a very special place in my heart. I'm looking back on it, and my fourth book just came out this past September. It's actually, I have it right here. It's Welcome to the Kumite, which is the sequel to Way of the Cobra, and now I'm working on my fifth book, which is a book called The Authentic Actor, about acting. And it's just, I think it's about staying busy. It's about especially during the quarantine. You could either pack on 30 pounds and go through the entire Hulu catalog, or you could take that time to you know uh, be productive and make some stuff happen. And I think after about a month of not making things happening and doing the first thing, I decided that enough. I was gonna try and be as productive as I could be, and not let the quarantine kind of clip my wings, so to speak.
Yeah, it was the baking and sitting around. I was the guy who, I mean, easy 30 pounds for
Well,
sure.
because
And
and then probably eating the stuff you made, right? Yeah.
yeah, somehow my wife and kids didn't put on the weight. I think I was the one finishing it off. They were my guinea pigs, but
I'm so stressed. I gotta make a cake.
it was more like, I'm so bored. I'm making another one. So, what's your favorite fruit? All right, orange. I'm making an orange cake, and then that was
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was sitting around and yeah, coping exactly, trying to find something to get through that whole mess. And I did end up writing a bunch of recipes, all cakes. So I don't know about publishing, but maybe like one of these .coms will I'll just buy like a 50 copies or something. You get a free one if I get it to a hardback.
Yeah. Put it into an ebook or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. And I have to, I made, because at the time we didn't see an end to COVID yet. And I'm like, well, this is what I can do. I can at least make food. And if I make it and I brand it and I can just deliver it, people don't have to leave their house. And I feel like 3 weeks later we were out of quarantine and it just kind of fell apart. There's a Facebook, there's an Instagram for it. I had a name, a logo. I was ready to go. Family
So
were
why,
like
why not
donating money.
why not follow through with that?
I think it's going to be a side venture because I need to make sure that these guys are taken care of first.
Awesome.
So, but it's never left. I still will, we all ate good this week. We're going to see friends and family. I'm like, I'm going to make that bananas Foster cake. I think we're going to see my buddy. I got to make something. And I only bring like half. It's like, you can have half here at the picnic, but I'm taking the other half home.
Kind of the heart of the book is about how food is such a unifying um, element in our lives. You've heard the expression, breaking bread, right? How if you sit down with somebody and by the time you have a meal with them, you really have hopefully come to know them a little bit, because food is such a conduit to, I think, emotional connectivity. I think that's one of the reasons that I wrote the book, because I've always found it to be something that we all have in common. We all love food. We're all proud of the different foods of our, cultures and nationalities and all that sort of stuff. And every nationality has something that's delicious. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe food can be the thing that saves the world. We
That sounds
can all
great to me.
get
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, as a fat kid at heart, deep
Yeah,
down, I am an eater. That to me that makes sense. Everybody just get together and break bread and eat. That's
exactly.
yeah, that sounds great to me. I saw in that I didn't look through that cookbook, but was there some content about like explain that book a little bit more because I feel like there's a little bit more
So
to it than just recipes, right?
yeah, so the book is a hybrid. It's a book that teaches men how to be the best versions of themselves without being a doormat. And it gives women sort of a front row seat into the theater of the male psyche, how men think. There's different chapters. Uh, for instance, martial arts has been very important to me in my life. So there's a chapter, the modern gentleman defends himself. And I talk about how martial arts has been important to me. The modern gentleman learns a language because studying foreign languages has been something that's been a tremendous gift in my life. So it talks about how to be the very best version of yourself that you can be. It definitely teaches you how to set up your kitchen. It'll teach you, basic cooking, basic baking, how to integrate spices and, pair wines and all that sort of stuff. But intermixed with that are a lot of really good life lessons. And I guess if I'm looking back on it, it really was the embryo for what later became the Way the Cobra series, which is, all about philosophy and strategies to becoming the best version of yourself.
Nice. Yeah, I could tell just by the name it was a lot more
Yeah,
than just just some
fun
couple recipes.
it's a very fun book to read, as I like to think all my books are. I mean, I think there's a lot of, really good content and message, but I try and um, package it in a way that is fun and engaging and, not preachy. And I think that's where people have responded to it. And Way the Cobra is in its third printing. It just came out in French and Italian, which I'm really proud of. And, we're trying to go international with it.
Did I see you had how many languages do you speak? I saw a show. Was it Italian?
Oh yeah. That was a show I did in Italy. Yeah, I speak Italian pretty well, I guess. I can speak enough French and Spanish, I guess, to get around. And I've been studying Mandarin for a couple of years, so I can probably botch 4 or 5 different languages.
Well, nice. Yeah, it was Spanish for me in high school, and never cared as a terrible high school student, and I totally regret it.
Yeah,
I at some point that'll be coming back, and I took sign and braille at the last semester of college, and if I hadn't just finished 3 years of college, I would have switched in a second. It
really.
was incredible. Yeah, um, it's the delivery system instead of word by word. It's just did you get my message? So everything's
Mm,
kind of abbreviated. There's not tenses. There's not all these extra
yeah.
like it's so tore down, and a lot of it's elementary. Where if it looks like this thing, it probably is. And one of my favorite parts was if you're in a crowd that you've just met and your name is Sean, instead of spelling it every time, especially if you have a longer name, someone kind of gives you a sign for
Oh,
your
cool.
name or for you. So the one example they used, my teacher always got shit because he had bigger lips. And he's like, so at one circle, they had an A and they just did this. And that was my name. So they just did this and everybody kind of gets it. As soon as everybody sees it,
Wow.
that's done. You're not teaching people. You're not, hey guys, you know what we should do? Someone just went like this and everybody
Yes,
noticed it and
yes,
just kept going.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
cool.
I did S, not A. Yeah. Exactly. Did you catch that? Just. Oh,
Right.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Five, six, seven languages you talk. Okay. So we could do a lightning round if you're cool with that. You can say
Sure.
as little or as much as you want.
Okay.
I'm going to omit just a couple movie style questions just to make sure, and then yeah, there's a bunch of people that drop some questions in too. A lot of people, so we can treat those the same way. We don't have to. I'll pick some of the better ones, I guess, the cooler ones, the more exciting ones, but we can sit for a couple minutes on one or two, or if you just want to blow through them, that's cool too. But a lot of people are loving the quick, stupid questions like Chips Ahoy or Oreos.
Ooh, I'm probably gonna go with Oreos.
Nice. Do you dunk?
Yeah,
Yeah, got you.
yeah, yeah.
How about a favorite candy?
Favorite candy. So there's probably a lot of candies I like better than this, but I don't eat them because they're just so, you know, bad for you.
Right.
So if I do let myself eat candy, I'm kind of a Twizzlers guy. Yeah,
I could dig it.
like to bite the end off each, make a straw,
Make a
stick.
straw out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I used to do
Because
that as a
then
kid
the
a lot.
cold soda goes up and it gets kind of crunchy. So
The Sprite was
I
my favorite
I
with
theorize
the
there's
Twizzler.
types of people in this world. There's Twizzler people and Red Vines people, and we can all get along. I mean, there's no reason we can't. But it's just
I guess we can move on. Yeah. I don't want to be friends with those people. How do you order your pizza? What do you take it? How do you
how
take
do I
it?
order my pizza? How do I order? Usually mushrooms, onions, sometimes olives, occasionally ham. But really, I watch what I eat pretty closely. So if I'm going to have pizza, I'll probably just have some kind of a cauliflower pizza, really plain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Grew up in New York until I got to Pittsburgh. So it's fat and flat. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
How about
I had a great piece of pizza though. I landed in JFK a couple days ago, and there was nothing open but a pizza place. I was like, oh god, all right, I got a pizza. So I had one piece of pizza, and the pizza in New York is so good. Even
yeah.
In the airport, it was an amazing pizza that blows away 99% of other pizza. It was great. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a big elephant ear, steaming hot. The crust is just buttery and puffy and so good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something in the water there with the pizza. Feel free to decline, but what's your favorite swear word?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be fuck. I mean, it's just so versatile.
You know what? No one's answered fuck yet. And it's easily mine, having loving Monty Python,
Yep.
getting to hear their take on the word. I'm like, how could you beat it? Um, what's funny is I wrote this question maybe a month ago, and I had like 3 or 4 Pittsburgh people on in a row, and then you. And I thought it would backfire, but it's kind of cool. If I say Pittsburgh, what do you think of?
What do I think of? Permane
Yeah,
Brothers.
nice, nice. And I feel like, see, I was hoping to I started it because I wanted people maybe not from here or never been here and kind of see how that trickles down. But I swear I get the best answers from Pittsburgh people. One guy said, my last buddy said home. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, way deeper than I planned that question to be. But yeah,
Right.
I love it. And yeah, Permanis was one of my first jobs when I was in college. I
Oh,
just was
really?
in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I kept the shirt. I couldn't get rid of the shirt.
Yeah, it's so good.
And we still go back, and they went from like being in a college area or the strip or these, I don't know, like more commercial. Now it's like everywhere. It's a family restaurant that's like up here in Shaler, and it's in a nice area, and it's a
Yeah.
sit down, and they have, I'm like, good, I can keep going. I keep getting my family hooked on it. My kid loves the pizza there too,
I
ironically.
think of the Pirates too. I was at the 1979 World Series. I was a huge Pirates fan when I was a kid. My dad just released a new book about Chuck Tanner. He just did this huge deep dive into Chuck Tanner. For those of you that don't know, he was Pittsburgh Pirates manager, won the World Series, and yeah, Steelers. What else do I think of when I think of Pittsburgh? I also think a little bit of. I know it's not really it's Monroeville, but is it Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah,
George Romero.
Romero has put us on the map. So we are technically, according to the Guinness Book of Records, the zombie capital of the world. He started it, or I should say, Night of the Living Dead started it. He kept it going with all the Monroeville stuff. They even have now walks. They have zombie walks. So there is in the Guinness Book of Records, there is most people dressed as a zombie, and I think it's just one place. And they start at Monroeville Mall, where I forget which one is which, but they do like a mini parade, and
That's
Guinness
great.
is there every time, and
Oh,
they're like
wow.
they're tallying, and I think it's been more and more. The past COVID probably fucked it up, but there was just more and more every year. So just every year there was a zombie walk hitting the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah, America loves zombies. I mean, it's a weird phenomenon.
I love up here they have the Terrible Towel, but it's a zombie. They have this
Terrible.
company. It's like a version of every company, but it's a zombie altered reality everywhere.
See,
And then they have
I'm old enough to remember when Myron Cope was the
WOI.
Myron Cope. Yeah, was the Pittsburgh sportscaster, and he invented the terrible towel.
Yeah, I remember hearing him as a kid, and in my grandma's house, they'd have the TV on mute, and they'd play him because I guess he was the color or the broadcaster on the radio, not the
Right.
broadcast. I had no idea why they were doing that until I got older. I kind of realized, like, oh, because it was Mark Hope. No wonder.
Yep.
What's something you're most proud of?
Something I'm most proud of. I would say my marriage to my wife, Michelle. Very proud of
Absolutely. What I skipped a lot of movie questions, so this is what's next for you?
that. Well, what's next for me is Thursday going back to to the Bold and Beautiful, and like I said, being fortunate and blessed enough to continue working there. And everyone is waiting for the strike to come to resolution. The Screen Actors Guild strike and the writers' strike,
Right.
because there's both going on right now. But it's a good exercise in realizing that there's some things that you just have to, I don't know if let go is the right thing, but it's not worth stressing about, because it's going to be what it's going to be. And just staying in the present. And what else? What's next for me? Saturday night at the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood. Really excited about that show. And Sunday is the Bold and the Beautiful fan event in Burbank, California. We haven't had one of those in, I think it's like 4 years because of COVID. So really excited to have a chance to say hi to the amazing fans that we have from all over the world. Bold and Beautiful is the most watched daytime show in the world. It's in the Guinness World Book of Records. So we have fans coming in from dozens of countries around the world. So that's what's next for me.
Look at us. A couple of PA
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
sitting in the book of records. No big deal, guys. It's really not that big a deal. How are you liking the comedy? Is that newer for you?
No, I actually, the first time I did stand up, I was 15. I was in Atlantic City, and I performed on the boardwalk at a show. I've always loved doing stand up. Um, uh, it's something that I've had different periods of my life when I've done it more and done it less, depending on my filming schedule. And I've been doing a fair amount this last couple of years. Just got back. I was in Stamford, Connecticut, performing at the New York Comedy Club, which was great. And performed at the Atlantic City Comedy Club a couple of months before that. And it gives me the chance to get out there in front of a live audience, which is great, because if you're doing film or most television, you're not performing in front of a live audience, and it's a very different sensibility. You get that immediate reciprocity with people that are like 3 feet away from you, and it's electric. And when it's working and it's going great, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I love Burbank too, by the way. We got to do a couple of Christmases, or one Christmas down there. It was a big, there's bands outside, there's the food truck rally, and is it Porto, I think, is that incredible.
Portos,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, we were absolutely addicted to Porto.
Called the Tres Leches cake they do, which is just nuts. Yeah.
It was like we went for breakfast, walked around, like, lunch, just go back.
Just
All
go.
right, yeah, go back for a sandwich. Yep, whoops, shit.
If it ain't broke, why fix it, right?
Yeah, it is so good. Was Oakmont Bakery a big deal when you were near Pittsburgh?
I don't I don't remember that, but see, like going to Pittsburgh was a big deal when I was a kid, because it wasn't as close as it is now, because they built a new freeway before. So it was like an hour away. So we didn't go that often. But Oakmont Bakery. That sounds
Because
really.
now it's exploded. So
Is
I
it
was
in
going to recommend.
Squirrel
It
Hill now?
started. It started in. Well, it's in Oakmont. It stayed in Oakmont, but they went from this really small. I want to call it like a mom and pop shop to. It's like a Porto now. It's absolutely. It takes over the
Oh,
whole
okay.
town. Yeah, and I wondered if you had been back at all, because that's one thing. Someone was like, I remember this when it was like a closet where you had trouble like getting in, and the line was
Yeah.
out the door, and now it's just you come over the bridge, and it's enormous. And that was going to be like a have to recommend if
I'm
you
gonna
come
have to
back.
check that
Yeah.
out. Okay.
Yeah. And if you
Remember,
ask someone like, what's the biggest bakery? Someone's gonna be like, it's Oakmont. It's Oakmont.
it's Oakmont? Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Do you remember Poli's?
I don't think so.
No, you remember it was a great restaurant in Pittsburgh. I think they went out of business after something like 60 years, but I remember we used to drive in and go to that place sometimes. But
Where was it? Do you remember? What area? tough as a kid knowing like what
I
era you were in, really. But
don't I don't remember
that na-
exactly where it was.
that name makes me think of like it's a Polish hill just because of the name.
It
Polish.
wasn't a Polish restaurant
Okay.
though. I wonder where it was. Poli. I don't remember how to spell it. Poli's in Pittsburgh. No, I don't remember it. No, I don't know. All right, I don't know.
I'll ask around.
Yeah. Oh wait, it says Poli still has the great feel of an old-time dining establishment in Pittsburgh. I thought it closed. I don't know. Where was it? Yeah, ask around. It was kind of like an institution when I was growing up. I remember it was that, and then going up to the was it the Wooden Angel up at the top of, you take the
Oh,
Duke, yeah,
Tin Angel. Yeah, top of the inclines. Yep. Yeah, my buddy works next door at the Lamont, and so we
Lamont. Yeah,
did like New Year's Eve up there, that
that
whole street.
that must be fun. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the views, they purposely build
Cool.
the biggest window you've ever seen in a restaurant, staring at the city, and yeah. Let's take some of these questions from people. We got a bunch. Let's see if we can't get. If I can blow through them, guys, I can try to get everybody. If you couldn't be an actor anymore, what would your occupation be? Says JL Help 1990.
That's a tough one at 56 years old to think what I would do. Uh, I sometimes I think if I had to do everything over again, and people can't believe when I say this, but I think I probably would have gone into the military, and then I would have gotten out and gotten some kind of degree, and then I probably would have gone into politics.
Oh yeah, Poli Sci, you said. That's right.
Yeah.
Star Jojo asks, could you say what's up, Jojo?
What's up, JoJo?
How come Deacon acts like he doesn't want Sheila?
I don't know. Well, yeah, he just kind of acts like he doesn't want her, but then they always sort of wind up, rolling around in the sack together. So I just recognizes the inherent danger of being with her. I mean, it's he's built this great relationship with Hope and with Brooke, and if they found out that he had a relationship with Sheila, everything could come tumbling down, especially the restaurant that he loves so much and that he's finally bought. So it's a very dangerous proposition for him to be with Sheila.
Mima Diva asks, did you finish your degree?
I did.
She also asked, were there any accidents with your choreographed fights?
Yeah, there is. The entire story is in my book, Way the Cobra. So you can read about it there, about how I almost lost my life and didn't.
Have you tried the Grimace Shake? Asked J Dog.
I've tried the Uncle O'Grimacy shake. Yeah, it comes out every St. Patrick's Day. I do remember, though, when I was a kid, I worked at McDonald's for 2 weeks, then I got fired. And I was about 15, yeah. And I remember the seniors in my school stole the head of Grimace from the playground and ransomed it to McDonald's. I think they said we want 1,000 hamburgers. I don't know, something like that. It was a big scandal at the time.
And it totally worked.
I don't know if they got 1,000 hamburgers, but I do know that McDonald's got its Grimace head back at some point.
That's awesome. What's your favorite kind of Oreo? Asks Starla O Pickles.
I'm kind of old school. I just go with the the old black and white. Yeah.
I'm the same way, but I gotta have that double stuff. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go a little bit bigger than normal.
Yeah, of course, for sure. Although they did a chocolate covered one, which was really good.
Yeah, that's like a fried Twinkie. Like I don't want to. I'm not gonna go order that. But if someone hands it to me, get out of my way. I just feel too gross to order certain things.
Yeah.
Like is it Cleveland has that? Yeah, I think it's Cleveland has that big train station that's like it's all the different companies and chefs and what have you. And that's all it was. It was like pastas, meats, everything was fried, everything was chocolate covered. And so my one buddy went there to get his favorite head cheese, which is disgusting, but
wow.
He's like, oh yeah, there's so much stuff there. My favorite's here. We'll go here. I'm like, cool. I just walk in. I'm like, this is all the worst, best stuff.
Yeah.
And I just did. I'm like, well, one in Rome, one in Cleveland, and I had a tour of a brewery and I had a fried Twinkie. I'm like, I didn't realize that was Cleveland. now, but I guess I have to do it.
Yeah,
One or two more here. Do you still do any karate training?
I do. Right now, I'm training a couple times a week privately, Taekwondo. And when I get back to Pennsylvania, I train at my dojo, which is the Genbukai Dojo in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So, yes, I am still training.
Do you still frequent Newcastle?
I get back a couple times a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of people I've talked to they don't look back. Not from Pittsburgh, just in general. They're like, oh, I hit the coast or I hit New York, and there's just the best thing in the world.
I like it. I still have a lot of friends there, family. It's home for me, and I'm always happy when I get a chance to go back there.
Nice. Well, if you ever come to Pittsburgh, I'll get the first round of Permanis too, by the way.
I love it. I'll hold you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, man. I really appreciate you hanging out, chatting with everybody. I'm sure all these people watching.
It's my pleasure, brother. I really appreciate this. Someone said they liked the painting in the back. A friend of mine just made this for me and Michelle. A guy named Gus Vasquez made that for us. So, I really appreciate the opportunity to do this, and hopefully I'll be able to come back when this is all wrapped up, and we can talk more specifically about some of the other stuff going on. But I want to wish you all the best with your baking and with your podcast, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everyone again.
Cool. And
take care, buddy.
If you come through for a convention, I'll be your PA. I'll help you out.
Love it.
Because I go to so many, man. You need a guy like me there. I'm not going to get phased out. Once I really shake your hand and like melt for a couple minutes and come back, it'll be smooth sailing. All weekend, it'll be such a breeze.
All right,
yeah.
Take care.
Cool, man.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.